First off, I want to give all praises and glory to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son YAHAWASHI, in the name of the Holy Spirit. In Hebrew, it's called Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rahach, Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS who taught me this truth. Salutations to all the brothers out there that's teaching this word in truth and sincerity, in peace, blessings and healings unto the elect and the multitude, because that's why we do these videos. And today, man, I want to talk about stuff like this because these people are, repainting everything. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this since the Renaissance, painting the likeness of their images, you know what I'm saying, on our images. It's wicked what's going on, man. Making the Son of God, look like them, making the angels look like them. You know what I'm saying? This is a real evil work that's going on right now, and they're perpetuating it all over the world. You know what I'm saying? It says, face of God, incredible model shows how Yahawashi, you know what I'm saying? That's his real name. But Jesus Christ may have looked as hyper-realistic sculpture based on Shroud of Turin unrevealed. And they saying that Yahawashi look like this, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got scriptures that say what he looks like. You know what I'm saying? And also, they've been doing this for a long time, man. I got this website, Real History, WW, but even the Egyptians, they making them look like, this, and this is the lady, Elizabeth Danes. She's like a French sculptor. She's been working real hard to change, history. Now she's saying that ancient Egyptians look like this. You know what I'm saying? And if you go down, you can see them like changing what history looks like. Um, why do ancient statues and paintings of black people often not look like black people? Because they're restoring them to look like that. An Egyptian worker preparing to plaster over a damaged tomb wall. Egyptian relief being repainted. Restorer outlining changes to be made. Changes to be made. Staff from the University of Chicago's Oriental Institute. This is an original picture. Example of the white man's handiwork. Note the Libyan and artistic are depicted as white. You know what I'm saying? It looked like this before, now it looks like this. It looked like this before, now it looks like this. You know what I'm saying? Real wickedness, but they always been doing this even since Greek times. Even since Greek times, they always been painting over the likeness of our images. You know what I'm saying? And we can get that in First Maccabees. There's nothing new under the sun. First Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images. And you know who was doing this? All you got to do is go to First Maccabees chapter 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, Alexander the Great, man, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius the king of the Persians and Medes, and he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Now I'm going to get some in a minute. And made many ways and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Alexander the Great, man, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Those that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks. It's talking about these so-called white people, because they came from Mount Seir. Then they went to go rule Greece. I got a picture, but I'm going to get it in a minute. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. Even Israel came tributary unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable. He had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So who did he part his kingdom to? There was 4 generals that Alexander, when he died, he parted his kingdom to, and you can look this up. Cassander, Ptolemy, Antiochus, and Seleucus. And Ptolemy is the one that ruled over Egypt. So that's when them white images start to come in Egypt. It was after Alexander ruled the world. And then they started changing the likeness of their images back then. Okay, and now they're still doing it today. Okay, and it's just crazy because history repeats itself and repeats itself. They always try to make our people a no people. They try to X us out of history. They always been trying to do this, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing it again by making, Yahawashi look like this. Even trying to make the Egyptians look like them, you know what I'm saying? Because the Egyptians, the slaves of the Egyptians were the Negroes. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to X us out of history. Point blank period. Now, I want to get why they're doing this, man. because they got a big hatred for us, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Psalms 83 and 1. It says, "Keep now thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They that hated thee have lifted up the head." And what does it say about him? His heart was lifted up, talking about Alexander. So these people got a big pride on them and a big hatred for our people. You know what I'm saying? They got a perpetual hatred. This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. "Because thou hast a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their iniquity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." So they got a perpetual hatred for us. Ezekiel 35 and 2, "Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it." And there's another thing I wanted to get some pictures, because these people, they firstly was ruling Mount Seir, Edomite kingdoms, Mount Seir, and then they ruled over Greece. And then Alexander did all that. And then they went on to go rule Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain, and the United States. Nothing new under the sun, okay? But now they're trying to paint the likeness of their images because they have no history. All their history was stolen. You know what I'm saying? They're not even the real Greeks. They took down the Greeks, the Hawaiian people. You know what I'm saying? The Hawaiians were the original Greeks. And they pushed them out of that land. And now they're all the way in Hawaii, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing that's going on. And look at this. Greek coins. Greek, Roman, United States. Nothing new under the sun. And they representing the eagle, man. And what does it say about that in Obadiah, man? I wasn't even going to get all this stuff. It's just a spirit, man. Obadiah. "Edom will be humbled." Okay, but if you go down here, it says, "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, though thou dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, which habitation is high, the safe in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground?" Because Mount Seir is up in the mountains, okay, over there in the Middle East. That's where they're originally from, but, Mount Seir, those that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, okay? Now look at all these buildings, man. Cave dwellers. That's why we call them that. "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." It's talking about these people that exalt themselves as the eagle. Okay? And get another picture. Edom, representing themselves as the eagle. America, Nazi, Rome, and even the Greeks. I showed you the coin. Okay? So going back, it says, "And though thou set thy nest among the stars," they got space stations up in there. It says, "Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." So this is talking about Esau being destroyed in the last days. Okay? And like I said, they always have painted the likeness of their images. Okay? Like it says right here in 1 Maccabees 3:48, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images." Okay? But some will say, why would they do this? Because they got a perpetual hatred for our people. "For lo, thy enemies have made a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head." They hate us, man. "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and have consulted against thy hidden ones." They have taken crafty counsel, man. Okay, that's why Kanye is being all up in the uproar right now, even though he's being controlled. But deep down inside, he's being used, and he knows he's being used. And these people hate us, man. You know what I'm saying? With a perpetual hatred. It says, "They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation." Let us cut them off from being a nation. That's why they say we're nobody and we're just black. And they cut it off right there. You're nobody, you're nothing. And these regular white people, they perpetuate that in all aspects of society. Okay? When we try to bring up the truth, then even these small Edomites try to defend what these bigger Edomites have done, these elites, all the way to the Rothschilds. It's white supremacy. Goes down to the smallest one to all the way to the biggest one. You know what I'm saying? It says, "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." Now it names these nations. "The tabernacles of Edom," so-called white people, "and the Ishmaelites." There was a Arab slave trade before there was a transatlantic slave trade. They got a perpetual hatred for our people too. "Of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, Gebel and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek, the Jewish people, the Amalekites. the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, the Africans. It says Ashar is also joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot, Salah. So these people have basically consented together. That's why there's an Illuminati, you know what I'm saying, with these nations. And we're not a part of that, but they got our people a part of like the boule, you know, just people that's on puppet strings, you know what I'm saying? That's to influence our people. That's it. They're not invited to the, you know, what these heathens are doing, you know what I'm saying? So going on, this is Lamentations 2 and 15. And all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Because we're Yahawah's children, we're his chosen. But we're low right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why Yahawah said the last shall be first. Okay? Because he let all these heathens rule. All these heathens have had an opportunity to rule the earth. You know what I'm saying? And Esau, Edom is ruling last, you know, before Jacob rules. You know, Esau is the end, Jacob is the beginning of it that ruleth. You know, just like the saying goes, those who laugh last laugh best. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob is going to laugh last and laugh best at the end. It says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. So these people couldn't wait to take us down. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to get this. You know, a brother gave me this precept. This is Judas 5 and 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that have hated iniquity was with them. So, you know, these heathens know. That's why they don't want us to get the knowledge of who we are. They don't want us to repent, because they know what happens. It happened in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It happened a little bit with the Maccabees. You know what I'm saying? Rome fell. Greece fell. It always happens when our people come back to our right state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Because we start calling back on our power and he comes and saves us. That's why the second coming is so important. Because Yahawah is coming to do the same thing that Moses did. You know, bring us out of this, Babylon the Great, and bring us into Israel. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be the final time. It says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God. That's why they don't want us to return. And are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. You know, keep going down. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they have sinned against their God, let us consider that they shall be in their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord not pass by, lest the Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. See, the second coming is going to be, you know, our people are waking up right now, you know what I'm saying that they're Israelites. That's a big detriment to this whole kingdom, this whole world, because now all their, you know, nations are going to fall, and Israel's going to rise to the top. See, they don't want that. That's why they got all this degenerate behavior being pushed by our people that they pay off, that sell out, and it's being portrayed all the way to our people to go off. You know what I'm saying? But now all that stuff's coming to an end. Our people are repenting, turning back to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big no-no. They do not like that because they know the history. They know all the history. You know, that's why they work so hard to do all this, to try to cover up who we really are. It's a big scheme that's going on. They all have consented together to do this to us. But it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too late now. It's too late now. Even I got the knowledge. Call YAHAWASHI. Me, somebody who didn't think I'd be doing this in 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 years. You know what I'm saying? YAHAWASHI is telling me to do all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we're at that time, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great time to be alive, man. No, there's no stopping this train, man. You're gonna have to kill every single one of us, man. And even that ain't gonna work. Yahawah is gonna defend us. It's gonna be a spiritual salvation out here, man. Y'all people gonna be scared to death. You know, just like them Egyptians were scared to death. What happened to them, man? You know what I'm saying? But you know, Now moving on, this is the devil. You know, this is the image that they got on the bottom left. It's Caesar Borgia. You can look that up. That's the picture that they use for Jesus Christ. You know, it was one of the Pope's sons. You know what I'm saying? So they paint the likeness of their images. You know what I'm saying? And they use Caesar Borgia as the face of Jesus Christ. Okay, all over the world today. It's a big scheme because this is all you gotta do. All you gotta do is look up what it says in the Bible, man. You don't gotta believe these people. It says, in the midst of the seven candlesticks, and one that likened unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. So it's talking about the color of his hair and the texture of his hair, white like wool, woolly hair. Okay, who has woolly hair? Only the Negroes got woolly hair. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned into a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Okay, so he had feet. You know what I'm saying? Like on the fine brass that was burned into a furnace. You know what I'm saying? Brass. Let's look it up. Brass. Okay, this looks like my skin color right now. Okay, this is my skin color. You burn that into a furnace, what's it gonna do, man? Okay, this is common sense, man. Okay. Um, Daniel's 10:5. They have lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed with linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. His body was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes lamps of fire, his arms and his feet like the color of polished brass. Come on, man. And the voice of the words like the voice of the multitude, and I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so they fled to hide themselves. So even having that vision, you know what I'm saying, made you scared, man, to see, you know what I'm saying, what actually God and his son looks like, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to get some pictures. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not get these pictures? Ancient Israelites, man. We're going to start. Okay, YAHAWASHI, Italy, 1320. Peter and Paul, 17th century. Ezekiel, 18th century. YAHAWASHI, 12th century. Samson, you know what I'm saying? Russian icons, King Solomon. All the prophets are black folks, ancient artifacts they tried to destroy. Now you see why they hate you Negroes. It's a big game that's going on right now. The whole world is racist, okay? They all came together in one consent to the so we won't be remembered. But it's too late now. We already woke up. Now you're gonna have to kill every black person in existence, and y'all been trying to do that ever since the Egyptians tried to kill all the firstborns. Herod tried to kill Yahushua when he was born. You know what I'm saying? King David. Okay, it ain't gonna work. Jeremiah. They left black. The war for Israel. When he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white. Negro, King David. Um, Reign of the Byzantine Empire. This is after Rome fell. We ruled the Byzantine Empire. We had coins of ourselves on. Okay. Ancient art of Yahushua. Depiction of Yahushua found in Italy, aka Rome. Peter and Paul. More prophets, Russian icons. Yahushua, Yahushua and his mother. Saint Moses. Okay. So all you gotta do is, man, look up history, man. These people trying to change everything. Even look at this dude. They know, man. They just don't want to tell you. Okay. All you gotta do is look up what it is in history. You don't gotta believe everything these people say, man. They're all liars. Okay. Even King James, man. You know what I'm saying? The tribes of Israel. Okay. Negroes to the Indians, the real Indians, Native Americans, all the way to the Latinos. Yeah, man. This is an Egyptian. Okay. More Egyptian art. Look at these ladies, man. They look like what our women look like now. They always wearing them wraps on their head. You know what I'm saying? All the way down here to the slaves that had afros. Okay. See, afros. Okay. Look at this, man. Look like me right here. Here. Look at this, man. So, why would they, try to um, do what they're doing and not tell us who we are? And because it's a big game that comes with it. They don't want us. They don't want our people to go back to the Lord because they know what happens every time. You know what I'm saying? You can read the book of Judges. Every time we went off, a judge came and saved us out of that predicament, and it's going to happen again, man. It's going to happen again. Nothing new under the sun. YAHAWASHI is going to come do it the last time. Okay, actually, the Son of God's coming. This is the last time he died on the cross, so we would ever never do it again. Okay, never gonna go off again, man. An angel. Okay, so don't gotta look no more of this. So that's all I wanted to get today, man. These people are liars. Okay, shouldn't be shouldn't be surprised. That's what they was made to do. They deceive the whole world. So double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS who taught me the truth and call Holy Spirt.